Hello, gamers. It's time to finally do the main quest line. Except not immediately, because I've got to go do these before they expire. But then I'm going to go do the main quest line, which has got me thinking a little bit about the lore. There's definitely some interesting tidbits that might be interesting to you. So, we know that the ziggurat is piloted by something. And well, before that, we could talk about how AI view phase. So this is a perfect example. There's a Grendel right here. If you read through the description, it's pretty clear that phase space and AI do not mix. Something about it, there's something wrong there. And then when you try to recover the ziggurat after defeating it, and you have an alpha core in your cargo, the alpha core will try to send like a cargo ship, like one of your little shuttles, to go blow up the ziggurat. It's going to use it as like a makeshift bomb. Now, of course, you catch it because, you can't just have an AI core blow up the ziggurat on the player like that. That would suck. I have a lot of those, apparently. So I guess I won't be buying any. Anyway, so you can't have that happen. So the player does catch it, of course. I'm kind of looking for a baseline eradicator. I think those would be good for the fleet. I've been testing out escorts for paragons. I've been testing out escort package in general, but generally speaking, it seems like long-range kinetics are the main thing that you want on your escorts, because they're being leashed to whatever they're protecting. So they're not going to be able to chase things down and actually finish them off. Mainly what they need is just kinetic damage in order to scare away enemies from flanking. So anyways, what I was saying about the lore. Oh, I should probably restore this. That would be a good idea. Okay, you two I'm probably not keeping around, so I'm not going to restore you. And you I can level up. What I was saying about... Right, the AI core tries to blow up the ziggurat. So it's piloted by something. All the human crew disappeared. Yeah, you're going to want that. I want both field modulation and target analysis. I'm just gonna... Oh, I see. So, okay. Well, I guess we'll find out if that works out when you level up again. So the AI cores really don't like whatever it is that's piloting it. Oh, I'm also gonna need fuel. Which is interesting, because, there's definitely some speculation that maybe it's like some kind of secret thing that the AI are working on and they don't want the player to find out about it. But I think that they hate them because it's actually a separate entity. I think that this is some kind of phase space being that has infiltrated the ziggurat. And the reason for that is because of the singing, right? Obviously, the player hears the singing when they're near the ziggurat. I guess I'll just buy fuel off the open market. Instead of trying to look for better deals, I'm just going to get going. The singing that the player hears. Yeah, you can scam me, whatever. I don't care. But not only does the player hear the singing, so we know that that's associated with the ziggurat, but the characters that we know hear the singing are Livewell Cotton, famous Pather guy. Everyone loves him. He's a very cool guy. He heard the singing, and interestingly, it was the singing that was converted him into the man he is today. And not only this, but when you dig into the lore, the prophet Lud himself was apparently guided by a choir of angels that only he could hear. And so all of this is very interesting, because that means both Lud and Livewell Cotton were pushed onto this sort of attitudes that they have, right? They were both guided by this singing, which we know is associated with whatever's controlling the ziggurat. Interesting how both of these men who have been influenced by the singing are staunchly anti-AI. Just like how the AI seem to hate phase space, it seems that whatever is in phase space is somehow singing to certain humans in order to influence them to being anti-AI. Like humans are a proxy in some kind of, like they're in conflict with the AI somehow, and they're using humans as a proxy to inhibit the AI. That's what it appears like. And this is further reinforced by the fact that the player also hears singing, not only around the ziggurat, but around the gates. And guess what? The provost at Glacier Academy wants to use the hypershunt taps to open the gates again. Guess who's guarding the hypershunt taps? It's the AI. The AI are guarding the hypershunt taps, maybe not just randomly. Maybe it's because they're specifically doing it... Whoa. It might be because they're specifically doing it to prevent the gates from opening up again, because whatever it is that's in face space is also in the gate space. Or whatever kind of hyperspace manifold exists between the gates. Right? Because as the player, we hear the singing around the ziggurat, and we hear the singing when we're opening the gates for the first time. So whatever the thing is, whatever the interdimensional being it is connected to both. And the singing has influenced people towards anti-AI attitudes. And the AI themselves are trying to prevent us from using the hypershunts to open the gates again. So it seems like you've got like a conflict between the AI and these interdimensional beings, whatever they are, and then they're kind of using humans as a proxy in their conflict. Or at the very least, the beings are, because they're singing to people and making them not like it, and giving them anti-tech and anti-AI attitudes. That's all very interesting, isn't it? So I'm wondering where the end game is going to go. It could be one hell of a twist if the AI are actually protecting us the whole time, even though they're, fighting us. They're trying to protect us from progressing too much and exposing ourselves to whatever is out there. It's possible. Or they could not care about us and they're just trying to... It's just a case of self-preservation because whatever's out there is really dangerous. That's also possible. Okay, what is this? Man, Slip Surge definitely made it a much shorter trip. This is very nice. A lot of the new movement options, because the problem with Hyperspace before slipstreams, before any of this, is there's just, like, what is there? There's the storms. Okay, that's just a mild inconvenience, and that's about it. Now it's actually kind of interesting to travel through hyperspace. This is a big planet. I'm surprised this doesn't have heavy gravity. Like, the sprite for the planet is pretty big. Yeah, I don't really need lashers. I'm just gonna... Yeah, I'll just take... Looks like my cargo is full, though. We can drop that. This is a pretty quality planet, though. It might be worth coming back later and just dropping off 1,000 people and tech mining this. I know people have been complaining about tech mining a lot, but it is true that if you take something with vast ruins and you just drop off a tech mine for like a few months and then abandon the colony, the odds of getting like a colony item or an alpha core or something are actually pretty decent. You have pretty decent odds, and just like most of the stuff that you're going to find is in the first few months. There's like a very small chance you might find something right at the end. Like I've heard someone say that it spat out a pristine nanoforge one time on the very last tick before the ruins ran dry. So that can happen, but usually important items are front loaded. So you only need to drop off 1,000 people for a few months, and then you can just kind of abandon them there, and it's fine. For some reason, that's not an issue. It does cost you a little bit of money to shut down the colony, because, you're not right, because in lore, you're not really abandoning them there. You're paying for, like, shuttles and stuff to get them back home. But you can just set up, like, burner colonies that you just... If it's a vast ruins, there's decent chances that you'll find something in a few months. Yeah, let's dump a little more. So that might be something he'll do. Although, how that yeah, you're fake. How exactly that interacts with Colony Crisis is hard to say. Although, I have heard that the prioritization for which colony they target when it comes to Colony Crisis is influenced by things like the items you put in your colony. So if you put like a bunch of alpha cores in your real colony, the one that you're actually going to defend, then the chances that they target your burner colonies would be really low. Oh, cool. I should be able to... That's a drone replicator. That's the one that's pretty useless, but you can give it to Kanta instead of paying her $1 million. So, that's an item that is definitely not worth $1 million. Let's see. Yeah, it sells for like 60,000. So that could save me a fair amount of cash and get Kanta's protection at the same time. Very cool. Alright, so there's going to be some mild ruins out here. Star Fortress is finished. Yeah, we're about to grow to size 4, which should ramp up. That should ramp up Colony Crisis pretty significantly, from what I hear. Okay. I mean, there's not much else to do. I could upgrade heavy batteries. I've got a lot of extra cash. And while heavy batteries don't really do anything for you economically, they should, in theory, make you more resilient against crisis. At least I would hope so. Like, if I'm paying money for more ground defenses, it should have that effect, right? It should. Yes, it should. And I'm going to do that. And I guess we'll find out. You know, I'm just going to dump all the metals. It's fine. Don't need them. Okay, so what's all of this? I'm seeing a jungle world with a Terran moon. That's pretty cool. Okay. There's also 2 stable locations. Might be worth setting up a wormhole here later on if these planets end up being good. So I can connect it to my current home system. Do you really think you have a chance? You don't have a shot in the dark. My friend, you are nothing. I also do want to get my reputation up with Tritachyon, because now that I'm commissioned by them, I could actually buy, say, a Paragon. It's interesting how luxury goods are only worth the same as supplies. I'm just going to dump those. Don't need them. So I actually have a chance to buy another Paragon, which I do want to do. So I'm going to try and get my reputation up with them. And see, right there. Common organics, +2 farmland, mild climate, low gravity, does increase the hazard rating, but also comes with bonus accessibility. Decivilized subpopulation kind of sucks, though. I did not expect my cargo to be this full after such a short trip, but here we are. Alright, well, I've done that. I'm going to come back. I'm going to go do some of these quests. Maybe get my reputation up high enough that I can buy another Paragon. Going to look for some Eradicators while I'm at it. And then I'll, well, whenever Crisis decides to show up, I guess I can just go home. Sounds like a plan. Anywhere I can use for a slip surge, I'd have to go over here. Yeah, that's fine. And the way that you unlock hyperspace topography is pretty cool. There's not really any reason. Like, normally there's not really like, black holes are, especially when you're first playing and you don't really understand how they work, getting that close to a black hole and scanning it is kind of scary. And so having a system that encourages you to do that, because, you know, scanning the black hole at long range and then scanning it at close range is like the biggest boost to your... That's like the biggest boost you can get to your topography very quickly. So it becomes worth doing, even though it's kind of scary. And so you actually get to interact with the mechanics of a black hole instead of just looking at them from afar. I think that's a good design choice. Yeah, I'll just go straight over to Brazil. Sometimes I right-click here, and I think I've clicked on the planet, but I've actually clicked on one of the solar mirrors. So I just autopilot in, and then the fleet pulls up to a solar mirror, and it's like... There's nothing to do here. Well, yeah, no kidding. I was trying to go to the planet. Might be... I'm not sure why you can even right-click on them on the strategic map there. Like, who exactly... Who in their right mind is going to be like, yes, I need to autopilot my way to one of these mirrors. That is specifically what I need to do for some reason. I just don't see that happening. Alright, here you go. I'm sure they'd be happy if I gave them with alpha cores, but I want those. If someone mentioned that selling blueprints on the black market can be kind of bad because, like, isn't that bad? Well, kinda, but also not exactly. Depends on your perspective. Blueprints you sell on the black market, the pirates get access to them. So, does that maybe make the pirate stronger? It can. But some people will also specifically give the pirates blueprints so that they will produce those things, so that they can then recover them after battle. Like if you give the pirates access to like a paragon, and then maybe you give them like a pristine nanoforge at one of their worlds, and then they start producing paragons, but they're still supported by a bunch of junk ships that the pirates have, you know, because pirates, they're like Colossus Mark IIIs and stuff. Then it's going to be pretty easy to kill those paragons compared to like fighting Tritachyon. And then afterwards, you have a decent chance of just recovering that paragon. So overall, I'm not really concerned about making the pirates stronger because they're just not that strong in the first place. So can it make it harder? In theory, usually it really doesn't, though. If anything, it might. If you're lucky, you'll get more interesting pirate fleets because they have more blueprints. That's the way that I look at it. Okay. I could restore you. Yeah, 100,000 credits. That's fine. Is there anything else that we need to do? Alright, of course. We don't have S-modded solar shielding on anything anymore. Very sad. Okay. No, I think this is basically fine. If you got any paragons lying around, I'll take them. That would be a nice grab. Disappointed by the seedy-looking trade? Nah, I'm not going to be doing anything. Alright. Yep, so the provost sent me. You can have your mental breakdown very soon. No small talk? What about the tour? Alright, I need to break into a vault. Yeah, then he just starts laughing maniacally. I'm just gonna laugh with him. Oh, I thought that you thought that was funny. I didn't realize you're having a psychotic breakdown. My bad. You know, I was trying to mirror you and just make you feel more comfortable. You know what? Never mind. Let's just move on. I'll have a drink. Okay. Tell me more about this gargoyle. What's Baird got on you anyway? A good investment, and the longer she waits, the more interest she'll collect. It's done well enough for me. We all make deals to get ahead, and I've seen worse. Done worse to others. Plus, I'm an asset now. You can't simply snuff an asset owned by a bigger player. And you're an asset now, too. Hypothetical question. What's she got on you? I hope you know. Probably, I mean, I'm the player, so clearly she has nothing. Like, what could she have on the player? I don't have a history. I'm an entity that simply manifested into existence so that I could go do stuff. What could she possibly have on me, aside from the fact that I have worked with her and been paid by her? I'd be interested to know what she could even have on me. Alright, develop contact, yes. High importance, military. So if we get our reputation up, I think he can. I think he can give you the bounty for the remnant fleet with triple S mods that's also got a tesseract in it. You know, the unique bounty that's once per save file. I think they do need to be high enough importance and high enough reputation with them. I think he should be able to do that. Speaking of which, I should probably ask if he's got any work for me before I leave. The contact system is interesting. I think you'd, or more like it could be interesting. Psst, do you want a planet killer? No, I'm not going to say that. That's crazy. Challenging target. What do you got? Yep, that's going on the direction towards home, and it's fairly... Yeah, it's very doable. Surplus recreational drugs. Yeah. Okay. Yes or no? I guess I should make him an important contact, since it's not like I'm going to have that many. Priority. There we go. I'm not going to have that many, in all likelihood. So there's no real downside to prioritizing one if you have one. Which kind of makes me leaves me thinking that maybe your first contact should be prioritized by default. That's worth considering. Alright, moving on. We're going to go do this. Oh, by the way, any officers? No, you've got a mercenary. Not quite what I'm looking for. I guess I should check around because, I mean, you've really got to look hard. And I need them. I'm going to need them. Endgame battles are not easy. You can't, well, you don't have to be perfectly optimized. You don't have to be like Captain Hecker. Captain Hector. Oh, you've only got a carrier right now, and my reputation's not high enough. That's fine. Because, you know, being able to take on, 5, 6 Ordos with your fleet, it's very impressive, Mr. Hector. It's very impressive, very interesting, but it doesn't look very fun to play that, because the types of fleets that he builds end up being, 5 identical capital ships hanging out at the bottom of the map. You use a few wolves and stuff to capture the points. You have a kite with the operations command, so you have command points, and then you have your 5 capital ships that just kind of hang out at the bottom of the map and just grind through the enemy fleet. Effective, yes. Fun? It looks a lot less fun than what I'm doing. I'd rather have something that works and is fun than something that's perfectly optimal. Yeah, so it looks like we're not getting much right now. Right, hold on. Yeah, no. Alright, moving on. Let's go over here. The franchise station. I'm not sure exactly how it's a franchise or what the lore is there, but it is the franchise station. Alright, what have we got? Asteroid belt. Not very interesting. Do you happen to have... Yes, you do. Field modulation. That happens to be what I'm looking for. Excellent. Okay, who's getting fired? Oh, darn. If I'd picked a different skill, that actually... you know what? Actually, you could... No, never mind. You could actually work. Combat endurance, target analysis, gunnery implants. Then I would just want, like, ballistic mastery... And I think damage control. I think the change to combat endurance has made it a lot... The elite bonus has made hull tanking significantly better. So if I'm going to have you pilot an Eradicator, I could have, target analysis, gunnery implants, ballistic mastery is a good combo. Range and damage. And then for durability, you combine elite combat endurance with hull restoration, or damage control. Then you slap on reinforced bulkheads and an S-modded repair unit, and you have a ship that can just repair through everything and tank a lot of hull damage. I think that's the direction I'm going to go with. So yeah, I might actually keep you around. You could end up piloting a Paragon. You just need like helmsmanship and field modulation, which, I mean, you're already mentored, and for the next 2 levels, you're going to have 2 of your slots occupied by systems expertise and missile spec, which you don't want anyways, so the chances that you're going to get the right combination of stuff are low, but they're not 0. You do have point defense, which is... You have point defense and helmsmanship. I know you want systems expertise. Is this right? Or is there something else that I'm supposed to have? Oh, right, combat endurance. That's what you're missing. Yeah, I want to swap out point defense. Well, I mean, helmsmanship and point defense are both kind of fine. Although I used to favor point defense because that's 50%, you know, its main system hits weapon, missiles, and fighters, so 50% bonus damage seems pretty good there. But it already does really well against missiles and fighters. It doesn't need that 50% extra damage. And instead I've come around to helmsmanship, the 50% maneuverability, because Omens might have a really good top speed, but 50% boosted acceleration is also really good. I used to not really value this on frigates because I thought, oh, maneuverability is just turn rate. It's not just turn rate. It's also acceleration. And that can make a big difference, especially on a ship that's really fast. And of course, the speed bonus got buffed a little bit, which is nice. I should probably carry around a bit more of a balanced loadout here. Locust is tempting. Locust is tempting. I don't know why I said that weird. That was some very strange noises just came out of my mouth. Locust is tempting. It's the esoteric. It's the singing. It's the singing, of course. You know, I saw the ziggurat too early before I was supposed to see it, and now the singing has interfered with my brain waves. I'm starting to become much like the Prophet Lud himself. Just kidding, that's blasphemy. We don't tolerate that. Yeah, no, I don't have any point defense here. I'm sure that's fine. This looks more or less fine. All right, hold on. There we go. 1500, 800. Very cool. Although ECCM doesn't really make sense if I'm using a Locust. I would have to drop a couple and grab a Squall, really. So this is a more reasonable combination of things. Yeah, something like that. And of course, it's got Ballistic Mastery, which is not exactly what you're looking for here, but Combat Endurance, Target Analysis, and Elite Missile Spec should serve him fine. You probably want... I mean, it's very tempting. It's very tempting to stick with the IR Autolances, but this is not going to work. Not going to cut it. Yeah, you don't need that anymore. Snap on some Gravitons. Maybe get a little more flux. And just like that, I think we're good. I think you're good. You look fine. Right, and I do need to fire someone. Okay. It's going to be one of the Omen officers. Which of you is the worst? Which of you sucks at your job the most? I think it's this one. Lindsay, you're out the airlock. Alright. We've got Yari Titan on board. Perfect. And now we're going to talk to the legend, Gargoyle. We're just going to get straight to the point. Can it even... Do you need some time? Yep. Nova Maxios pickup. Alright, let's go. Alright, let's try to get this over with. Alright, you don't need to be treated as important. And then we're going to drop off over here. We're going to go over there. Just got to do a few errands so we can steal data that's locked up in a hegemony data vault. It's not, it's just got to do a few errands here and there. All right, what have we got here? Anything interesting? Let's see. Some distance away, some distance away. No thanks. I'll pass. Yeah, I've definitely scanned this before, haven't I? And I think one thing that's been interesting is, I think somebody mentioned that even if you have a commission with a faction, you don't get to benefit from like their nav relays and stuff, which just seems a bit odd. You probably should benefit from the nav relays if you have commission with that faction. It just kind of makes sense. And you probably shouldn't be interdicted by their interdiction pulses. Although that gets a bit hairy because sometimes, you know, patrols will chase you, even if you're commissioned by the faction. But when they're trying to interdict some other random pirate, and you get hit anyways, it doesn't feel very good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to abandon that. Okay. No officers. We're gonna go to the storage unit. We gained a story point. Oh, I didn't realize you gained a story point at this part of the quest. Hey, the more story points, the better. I really need them. Alright, I guess we just move on. Although this fleet is not the stealthiest, so this is going to be a little difficult. It's going to depend a lot more on luck. Alright, let's have a look here. What's this? Ludic majority. A majority of the population on Thunderlord's Sky Throne are Ludic faithful. This may result in a substantial boost to stability and productivity. Oh, this is... okay, so this is probably... I mean, I'm using an AI core, but I guess they don't know that. Colonies outside the core may result in... It may also result in increased population growth from Ludic migrants seeking to escape the sometimes oppressive influence of the Ludic Church. Yeah, so this is definitely going to be the Ludic crisis. I guess because I have farming as my industry. That makes sense. Okay. +1 production for farming, light industry, and similar. What does and similar mean? And similar what? There is nothing else. What's similar to that? Heavy industry? I doubt it. Well, I guess if they're going to boost... Because I want to mine organics to feed into the light industry, but if I'm getting a boost to light industry, I guess I should build that first. And I already have Freeport active, so drugs are going to be nice. We all love drugs. Everybody loves drugs. Drugs are money. And money is the lifeblood of this and every colony. Is there anything else I need to be... Well, I guess I should check the colony crisis meter and see what's going on. AI core use, +4, that makes sense. I get... This was not showing up before, but it is now that the colony size 4. This was not showing up at all. Colonies with the Ludic majority, okay. And then, of course, the classic pirates. Blowback is slowly seeping in. All of that's reduced slightly by Patrol HQ. And we're only at 108 +12. I guess this just means that, like, the progress before was extraordinarily slow. Why is the danger extreme? Danger level of the stronger fleets likely to be found in your system. Approximate there may be exceptions, does not include hostile fleets that may be present for other reasons. So, whatever's going on right now, the danger... Oh, it might be... Okay, it might be that the danger listing here is relative to your calculated fleet power. That would be the only way that this makes sense, because for it to be, like, extreme in the grand sense of things would be a bit weird this early on, with the crisis being this low. Also some kind of mechanic I'm not aware of. But yeah, Hegemony, Knights of Lud, Pirates. Alright, I mean, Pirates are always there. I guess if you do farming for your size 3 colony, then you're going to have to deal with the... You have to deal with this as soon as it grows. Alright, and the Hegemony, just because of AI core use, that makes... I mean, Yeah, I'm using AI. What you gonna do about it? Oh, I guess they could send an expedition, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Light industry under construction. Very nice. We're up to 20,000 credits a month. That's cool. Should get a lot better as soon as that light industry finishes, too. Anything interesting some distance away, that's the opposite of that. When I say interesting, that is the opposite of that. That is not what I'm looking for. Okay. Well, I just turned transponder on, which is really not what I want to be doing. Well, it's probably a good idea to do that. Right, I don't think I can sneak. Well, it'd be inconvenient to sneak all the way over here, and I don't need to. I can just fly straight to the sensor array and start interfering with it. I mean, imagine if other factions did this to you. That would be annoying. Yeah, I guess I'll get a little bit of that. I've got plenty of volatiles to spare. False data, sure. Right, so some of them should hopefully just kind of wander off. And that'll be that, because this fleet is not stealthy. Although I guess I could always head over to Tritachyon, buy a... like, I could head home. No, I don't even have to head home. I could... What? Were they following me? Or are they just seeing fake things that happen to be near me? That must be the case, because they are zooming. Alright. Oh, they... fuck. Nope. Oh, no. This is no bueno. This is not luck. This is the opposite of luck. See, here's the annoying thing. If I just turn the transponder on, I get less of a reputation hit than if I keep it off. And I don't think that makes sense. Because right now, they can't... The whole point of the transponder is they can't identify me. So if I turn it on, then they will be able to identify me, and that should hurt my reputation more. Whereas if I refuse, then they don't even know who I am, right? So how does my reputation take a bigger hit? That doesn't make sense. So what, like the option to refuse kind of doesn't even make sense. Like it's like what use is it? What use is that option? They've already caught you. Keeping it off doesn't help you anymore. It just hurts your reputation further. It's kind of nonsense. Yeah, it looks like he's just back to patrolling. Which means I'm not going to be able to do this. Oh, and now we're at war anyway. Seriously? Seriously. What? Okay. This is wacky. And I swear, after I deal with these guys, those guys are going to, like, emergency burn towards me too, aren't they? Oh, boy. Alright. Well, I guess I'll just kill them all. Well, this is kind of convenient in its own way, because if I just kill them, during peacetime, if you kill their stuff, that's going to hurt your reputation. If you do it during a wartime, it's not going to hurt as much. So I can now just, instead of trying to sneak up like I normally would, I can just kill them. And it's just like, oh, well, you know, it's not my fault. We're at war with each other. You can't blame me for that. I'm a contractor. I'm a mercenary. And then I'm just going to just so happen to kill all the ones around the comm relay. Even though my fleet should be fine. Yeah, we're not even talking bonus XP. Although a lot of my ships are really optimized for anti-armor. Well, I say a lot of them. I mean, the non-omens, but even then, you do have an ion pulsar to get through shields. I did give you a squall. I did give you graviton beams. I don't really need sabos, do I? The Reapers will do just fine. Although the Grendel does have me a bit concerned, because I'm not sure how that's going to perform under AI control. Is it going to be really annoying? Is it going to suck? That's kind of concerning. Let's not overload. I would rather not do that. It does look like we are whittling them down, as you would expect. Yeah, we should be fine. Even if the Grendel is strong, if it's isolated, it's not going to be very good. Yeah, it's going to use its ammo feeder. I'm just going to get out of the way. If I can get behind you... Very nice. And we just got to do that again. You know, the Grendel might actually make a good escort with the way it's behaving so far. It's got the accelerated ammo feeder and the ballistic mounts. It's just, I guess it's a question of whether phase would be better for an escort or shields. Being a phase ship that's escorting something, you've got cover that's readily accessible, so you can vent. That's kind of useful. I think this is worth trying sometime. Grendel escorts. Yeah, you're gonna dodge through that. And as soon as you come out, I can hit you with another Reaper. Yeah, I guess there's no reason to be super concerned about it. Just get him. Although it does seem like the Grendel, from what people are saying, it seems like the Grendel is highlighting how bad the Harbinger is, because it's the same deployment points, but apparently performs a lot better. I have not tried it out myself, so I can't confirm that, but that's what I'm hearing. Alright, I'm not gonna, yeah, we'll pursue you. Please wipe them out so that they won't stop me. Thank you. Much appreciated. So I could recover it. And it was in pristine condition, so the demods wouldn't be too bad. But I'm going to stick to the Eradicators, I think. That's the plan. Alright, so we've got one down. Do you guys really think you can take me? Okay. 26%? Somehow I'm not that concerned. Although we do have capture points. Interesting. Guess I'll just autopilot at the start. There's not much to do. Maybe I should have the Sunder escorting you just to, you know, keep both of you from being too reckless. Oh, that's one little annoying thing with the AI, is when you're doing, like, it assigns the AI based off, like, who to capture what based off of speed. And so when during Plasma Burn, your speed goes up above what the Omen speed is, and so it switches back and forth. Which is a little annoying. That's probably why I should just be on Search and Destroy. And the cool thing is, if you set it to Search and Destroy, then you take back control, then you autopilot again, it's still Search and Destroy. So that's convenient. Oh, fighters is going to be annoying. So hopefully the Omens can just split the enemy fleet up and make them less of a problem by whittling them down. I said I'm going to avoid order to that. Alright, we don't want to take our chances with this. We want to place it nice and methodical. Right, there's no reason to go for a heavier target. Start with the easy, vulnerable ones. Pick them apart like a surgeon. We've got all the capture points. That's going to kill that. That's going to kill that. Then after that, there's not much left. Aside from, you know, enforcers and a couple of cruisers. Which I think we're well equipped to deal with. Although they do seem to have... Oh, there's a Condor back there. That's where they're coming from. Okay. Well, I'm just going to go kill that. The Condor actually has Light Needler. That's pretty interesting. Actually a bit of an issue for me. I do want to retreat here. So you can escort me and get rid of these. I guess what I'm going to say is probably avoid this. You should kill that. And then we can engage this guy. There's nobody over here, so I don't know why they're all trying to focus on that one. We'll just ignore the capture points now. We've mostly done what we need to do. See, ECM rating 10% because we have the sensor jammer and we've got 5 omens. It does seem like with the changes to ECM, getting to 10% at a minimum is pretty nice. You can invest more if you want to, but hitting that 10% threshold is going to give you the pretty decent bang for your buck. Alright, that's taken care of. No more fighters. Let's get you. It looks like, yep, you're killing that. Perfect. You're killing this. You'll love to see it. You're not going anywhere. Yeah, this is just over for you. And then just like that, all that's left is a couple enforcers, a kite, and an eagle. Yeah, plus 26%, right. As if it was going to be that hard. And the double Reapers instead of bringing Salos is probably better against a low-tech enemy like this. In fact, maybe switching up the Squall might have been better, but Squall high-intensity laser is just a well-documented, very reliable combo. No need to try and get fancy with it. Yeah. You're a sitting duck now, and it's good night. They didn't even get a chance to retreat. I like how you still get bonus XP even during this phase, because I'm pursuing supply ships and I'm getting bonus XP for it. Kind of funny. Alright, you want to fight me? Yeah, I didn't think so. Alright, so there's 2 of you now. I'm not even... What are you guys doing? Okay, so that scares them away, and that gives me a chance. Perfect. See, that's what you do, because they avoid the interdiction pulse. You use that to shoo them off, then you go dark, and that should give you enough space to capture the thing. Oh, right, I turned on combat results. I kind of forgot to turn that off before doing the recording. I was using this to check different builds on another save file. 31,000 hull. Reaper's doing pretty good. Everything else also doing pretty good. 9,000 hull. 3,000. 1,000. You actually did... The Medusa actually did less than the Omens. This right here is just more proof of Omen supremacy. I mean, what can I say? The numbers speak for themselves. I kind of want to have it off. I want to have that mod off just because I don't really need to be doing... checking the numbers every battle, and it adds a lot of clutter with all these extra information in the intel tab, which, I mean, it's getting crowded. This is getting crowded. I think that this needs to be cleaned up a lot, because when I was first playing, this was pretty intimidating. Just, there's so much stuff here. You know, obviously it would be a bit less when you take out, combat results. You take out Captain's Log, which Captain's Log I think should be just... I think being able to keep track of like the Captain's Log does should just be mandatory anyways. That should be part of vanilla. But anyways, even if you take out extraneous mods, there's just still too much here. I feel like they should be blocked into separate categories. Like the middle category could be all of the faction stuff. Or you could have this middle block for all the factions, Then you could have the left block would be like new, important, story, major events. And then on the right, you could have stuff that's less important. So that would be like and then on like fleet log, or gates, or fleet departure. I don't like all of these are, they're useful, but they're less important than things like new, important, story, colony threats. So stuff of high importance could be like, you could divide them into 3 blocks where the high important stuff is on the left, faction stuff is in the middle, and then low important stuff is on the right. And I think that would improve clarity, I think. At the very least, the current system is flexible for modding. So there is that going for it. It's very flexible for modding, because if you want to add new tabs, they just automatically get added to the list. Whereas if you break it up into blocks like that, it's probably going to be a little less. That might take some work to make that function, even when modders add more stuff. But I think it would be worth it just for player clarity, because even as an experienced player, I find it annoying to try and navigate all of this. And new players, it's a lot. It's a lot. Alright, so that's over. Hostilities, Athletic Church, Tritachyon. It looks like, okay, so there's a 3-way war going on. The Church, the Hegemony, and Tritachyon are all at war with each other, all at the same time. That's just the way it is. Okay. What do you need? Yeah, I'm not going to ask any questions. I'm just going to do what I'm here for. I don't need any illegal weapons. I'm good. But thanks for offering. It's a very polite criminal. Thank you. Alright. No, I can't really afford it. Omen Supremacy. They've just got everything. This is a pirate version, not what I'm looking for. Yeah, there's still no officers. That's fine. What do you level up? And yeah, as I suspected, you're not just going to get everything that I want. I mean, sure, elite entry weapon mastery is fine on a Paragon, but it's not really necessary. I'd rather have... well, maybe I could swap... There's an argument to be made that swapping out combat endurance for that might be useful, but I don't really have the spare points to grab elite energy weapon mastery. What I want to do is I want to grab combat endurance, target analysis, ordnance expertise, then grab elite field modulation, because that's just really good on the Paragon, and then also elite helmsmanship, because that extra speed and extra maneuverability on a big ship, right? The main problem with the Paragon is that it's not always where you need it to be. If it was where you wanted it to be, it would be really good, but a lot of the time it just isn't. And helmsmanship makes a big difference. It gets around a lot faster. It gets its guns on targets a lot faster. So I think that's a pretty good pickup. Those two, elite field modulation, elite helmsmanship, and then these three, more damage and durability, and then more flex. Simple as that. All right. So that's unfortunate that you're not going to be an ideal officer. I guess for now, since you are piloting a Medusa, I'll just give you systems expertise, because you're going to get fired eventually. So might as well just make you good at the thing you're doing right now. That makes sense. All right. Galatia, that's one part done. The next part is the lengthier and more annoying one. Oh, it's a little task force. And they didn't try to intercept. Did they not see me? Or are they just there to like... there we go. That's a task force. All right, what do you want? Do you have a warrant? Must insist upon a legal warrant. All right, they're going to try and fight me. Can I see what their fleet looks like? I cannot. They do have a bunch of S mods on their stuff. I think I'm going to take the coward's way out and use my plot armor, because Yeah, I just don't want to take any losses right now. I don't think my chances are particularly great. Although they're definitely not zero. I could see myself winning that fight. I guess it depends a lot on how optimized a lot of those S-mod choices are. They could have some pretty poor builds, but they could also have some pretty good ones. Yep. Mm-hmm. What will you do if they suspect that you just did that? They suspect me already, of course. The Glacier Academy will appeal the original data seizure and demand the return of basic scientific research material, which is not illegal even under old domain law. This data breach only proves the danger of restricting basic research, as this situation enables unsavory parties to exploit discoveries without oversight from the Alright, you've lost me there. Ecumenica. It's probably Ecumenica. So ecumen, that's a word. Is really adding Ica to the end of ecumen still a word? Or is that, did you just make that up? Alright, whatever, we're moving on. I appreciate the irony of my objection, of course. But this is war by public relations. There is no room for scruples. I'll be exactly as cynical as they already believe me to be, and they'll believe the act because it is true. Behind that truth, of course, is what really happened, which shall be a fait accompli once they discover it, and one too embarrassing to publicize. Very cool. Also, I'm just realizing this is French. I butchered that. Which shall be a fait accompli. That's a little better. I was a teacher for 20 cycles, Captain. I've had worse. That's fair. Alright. Don't think I'm gonna... Oh, I am gonna get new missions. Really? Okay. Sure. I'll do those. Okay, let's see. So that's that. These... Well, this one has a... Oh, right, this is a time limit. Right. I should probably go do that. Although I do have time. Right, how long does it take to get there? Although the problem is that it doesn't tell me what world they're orbiting. I think contact bounties tend to wander the system a lot. So there's going to be... I need to account for the possibility that I need to spend a bunch of extra time looking for them. And for that reason, I think I'm going to go straight there. I want to improve relations, not the opposite of that. That would be bad. Okay, let's get over here. Let's use this. Yeah, my aim was a little off, but that was pretty good. So I may have to go over to my homeworld to buy more fuel, although I think I'm fine. I'm not sure if I'll have enough to get back to the core worlds. I guess we'll find out. We'll find out when we get there. Supplies are running a little bit lower than I'd like. Haven't really been buying them just because I had so many. Cash money coming in. What have we got? Obligation from your past, minus 34,000 credits. It's like half of what I'm making every month. So it's nice to know that I'm in the positive and not in the negative, but on the other hand, I could be making progress a lot faster. If not for this infinite debt. Which, yeah, it is a bit weird that you can't, like, actually pay it off eventually. Alright, that's finished. We're looking at 990 defenses. Light industry is on the way. What's our colony crisis rate looking at? Yeah, I mean, since the last time I checked, it's only gone up by like another 20 points. and nothing even happens until like 300. Alright, I think that's fine. I think that's looking good. I guess it's a question of, will it be an AI inspection or will it be the church? And if I want to manipulate it, I believe that once it hits 300, you can manipulate it kind of by killing a bunch of stuff, getting it to drop back below, and then when it comes back up again, it'll re-roll a different one. I believe that's how it works. So there's somewhere in this nebula, which is right. It is a bit annoying that it is a little bit annoying that when you right-click on a nebula, and then you get there, you go in, and then it automatically, instead of saying, oh, you've reached your destination, it tries to path you to another. Like, the pathing automatically assigns you to one of the jump points, which is just weird. It doesn't do that with normal solar systems. Yeah, see, this is what I was worried about, is now I'm going to spend I've got 40 days to go looking for them. Hopefully they're near one of the planets. If not, that would suck. I already have that? Interesting. Oh yeah, I fully surveyed some of these. Some of them I have not. I think this is just pointing to the planets so far. Alright, if I scan... Do I see anything? No, I'm not seeing anybody. Located in the nebula. Yep. And that's it. Right. Could you be more specific? Located where in the nebula? Exactly. Are they near a planet? Doesn't seem like it. That's kind of a problem when the nebula is not super easy to navigate. It's full of nebula. Alright, this is kind of an issue. And all of these places have magnetic fields, so they're going to strongly interact with the neutrino detector, which is... I don't even know if this would detect fleets. So this small one is going to be this gas giant. That's going to be pointing up there. And there. That's going to be pointing backwards. These ones are probably... That's fake. These other ones, it's hard to say. Do I really have to just go around scanning? Is this what my life has come to? There is no way. We're not finding this guy. I've got 20 days. Give me a break. You know what? I didn't check the jump points. That might be around one of those. Unfortunately, I don't have... Yeah, I sold all my transphotonics and stuff. I can't build the sensor array. Yeah, I guess the best thing I've got is maybe they're near one of the jump points. Not this one. I can check the other ones. Man, why'd you have to give me such a stupid mission? You couldn't have picked, like, anything but a nebula. I should be paid extra for this if it's going to be this nonsensical. There we go. Hello. Danger 2 stars? Yeah. I think we're going to be fine. You don't even spawn any points. You don't even spawn any objectives. We're like ultra fine. Yeah, you can see with systems expertise, and you could give them like S-modded expanded magazines with ion pulsar plus mining blaster, they get very aggressive and they can be very effective. Just imagine that instead of breach missiles, it has like 2 light needlers and, you know, frontal shield conversion with S-modded extended shields, so it's got a full 360 degrees. You know, with all of that in place, Medusas get really good. I'm not so sold on the idea of giving them... I mean, they might be a good idea to use them as escorts with escort package. Oh, why is my shield not on? Oops. That's kind of important. Yeah, your kinetic damage is a bit lackluster. I'm not really feeling it. kind of want to kill that guy. Oh, yeah, he's got... Oh, and that flamed me out because, of course, you know, I gently nudged into him. Like, why wouldn't that flame me out? Okay, so I did manage to overload him with my Reaper, so he's not just going to destroy me with harpoons. Nice shot. That was good. That was really good. Alright, so that the well-timed Reaper means he's overloaded, so he can't just destroy me with his harpoons. And, yeah, I think we're good. Just gonna, you know, take a little bit of this, take a little bit of that, bada bing, bada boom. You're dead. I've ended your bloodline. It's Jover. Boom. Alright, so you guys want to kill that so he doesn't get away, and the rest of us can just hunt this thing. And this was supposedly a more challenging target, although I have seen cases where the more challenging target was actually worth less credits than like the medium target. I'm not really sure how that happened. That was in an older version though, so maybe that was a bug and that got fixed. I don't know. I've only seen that like once. Okay, let's make sure they don't get away. They still got away because it's a dram, and they always get away. Now, another cool thing about bounties is you don't actually have to kill everything. What you really need to do is just kill the guy who's in the picture. Right? If you look at a bounty, it's just like you're supposed to kill, you know, notorious pirate, Phlebas Glubus. If you just, and you know, he's going to be in one of the ships. So if you kill his ship, and then you retreat, you get the bounty. Okay, so that's that. This is right here. So I could go do this. I can go down and do this. And that should... And then I can just go back to the core worlds. Finish up the rest of this quest line. Yeah, that's a good idea. Getting a little concerned about supplies. Should be able to find more wherever I go, though. It's usually how it works. I don't even really care that much about topography since I've already got Slip Surge, so the extra, like, ooh, I get 250 more data. That'll get me 40,000 credits. Whoa, 40,000 credits. That's crazy. That's like almost 2 omens. And I'm sitting on 2 million credits. Because at the end of the day, right now, money can't really buy me what I need, which is better officers with the correct skills and story points so I can put S-mods on them, on the ships. Like, those things you can't really buy with credits. So, the fact that I've got all these credits, it's like, yeah, I guess I could buy a bunch of ships, but I don't really want to do that right now. Although I suppose I could get more colonies with that crash and get them up and running. But then that also makes hostile activity, or I guess colony crisis, a bit more advanced because it does scale up with number of colonies. But I could, of course, split them up across different systems, and that should mostly mitigate that issue. It does seem like this release has done a decent amount to try and minimize... So it's the stacking of a bunch of colonies in the same system, where it's no longer just strictly better. There are good reasons to split up your colonies now. Just with the way that colony crisis target things. But then again, once you finish the colony crisis, and you've done all the major crises that don't repeat, then after that it's probably better to just have them all in the same system. Or at the very least, yeah, well, maybe if you can get different systems that are close by, that might be the best. Probe, leave. What? Huh? Did that spawn for the exploration path of the current quest line, but since I said to take the diplomatic path, it doesn't... I can't do anything with it? Is that what that is? Like, that's the only way I can rationalize that. That's weird. Just a random probe. And I didn't really read through the paragraph, but I did see the word Glacier Academy, so it's got to be related somehow. I mean, these probes don't just show up otherwise. Oh, yeah, I'm going to save my supplies. Let's grab this. And it looks like there's another probe here. This one doesn't even have any text. What is this? Long-range sensor readings match the specifications of the common class of probe used by Glacier Academy Hyperspace. There's no sign of a transponder. What? This is weird. Yeah, I think this is for the exploration path of the current quest. But because I selected the diplomatic path, they're just not active. But they still spawned in anyways, which... that's a little weird. There's a third one. Yeah, and there's also Pathers just here for no reason. I don't know why they didn't attack me, but... yeah, it seems like all of the stuff for that event is just kind of hanging out here, even though it's not being used. This is strange. This is a strange experience. You know, it'd be nice if one of these days I would find a level 7 officer. You know, especially considering the drought of officers in the core worlds. Would it be more worth it to just go down and use this black hole? Probably. Well, it's probably going to burn more fuel, if I had to guess. How much is this going to burn to activate? Have to get a little closer. 126 fuel. Yeah, and while you're traveling, you're not using fuel. Okay. Cool. I guess we'll go do this, we'll do this, and then we'll do that. In that... whoa, wait, hold on. We're at war with the church right now, aren't we? Yeah, so... well, the Pathers we're always at war with, so I guess I'll do them. Can I sneak into Asher? Is that possible? No, I don't really want to do this when I'm low on supplies and fuel. No. Right, because I'm going to end up faffing about for a while trying to get in sneakily. Maybe end up fighting them. And I don't want to be doing all that while burning through the last of my supplies and fuel. Heart of the system, jump point. That's a lot of bounties. Some of these might be worth doing. I am pretty close to max level. And bounties are a pretty good way to get an XP. Especially if you pick ones, like if I've got a fleet that's optimized for fighting low-tech fleets, then I can pick low-tech, I can look for low-tech bounties that are, you know, harder, you know, a higher pay grade than what I should be able to do. But because my fleet is well designed and well optimized for that kind of enemy, that would end up allowing me to pick harder fights and get a bunch of bonus XP. Like this, 150,000. With like high intensity lasers, a bunch of omens to distract and disable them. That seems pretty doable. Okay. I do have to turn my transponder off if I want to do any economic business, which sucks. Yeah, because we're just... I think it's 25 or inhospitable. If I have a couple gamma cores, I should be able to get the Percy link up above 25 so that I can buy stuff from them. Man, we just don't have a good reputation with anybody, except independence, of course. This should go back up decently when the war is over. This, I don't even know where we were. Alright, whatever. Oh, no, oh, wait, no, I can't. Okay. Shuttle. Visit. Just be as conspicuous as possible. It kind of doesn't matter. Yep. Be as conspicuous. Just make sure that you're seen. Yep. Just be as conspicuous as possible. About time you noticed. I'm so clever for doing this. It's a bit weird how you do all of that and this guy shows up, but they don't put like an exclamation mark next to him. It kind of, you probably should, just so that it's a little easier to find him. Since he's, you know, normally you would do that. It seems a bit odd that he doesn't get an exclamation mark, even though he's part of this quest line. I'm quite serious. I am, from a certain point of view. No, but it seems like what people like to hear. Obviously not. I'm here to help her. And then he calls you out, and you're just like, yeah, of course not. Yeah, I was lying, obviously. You're not. You could be quite serious. I've never said obviously not. Let's go with that. Quite. So. I can't disclose. Yeah, okay. So, I think normally if you just stick to your guns, you don't end up needing to say anything more. And you don't even need to mention Baird. And he brings it up. Because he probably suspects that it's related to Baird, but then doesn't really know, so he brings it up just to see if you react. So I'm not gonna react. Because I don't like being outsmarted. I don't have more questions. I'm out of here. Alright, independent world. Give me supplies and fuel, because I need them. I wish there was some way to block out notifications like that. It's like, that's useful for some playthroughs, but a lot of playthroughs I just don't care. I don't need to know about smugglers. If I care, I'll go look through the Intel tab. I don't need everything popping up in my feed. Right? There needs to be like a subscription system where each tab you can subscribe to, and it shows up in your feed, just like YouTube. Speaking of, you should subscribe to the channel. That was really good. That was smooth. I like that one. Should do that in the future again. Okay. I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna buy all that. There we go. Very nice. You can have all those organics. I don't care if it's a suboptimal price. I'm not really worried about it. Moving on. Important. Cruise. The habitat. That's right. And while I'm there, I can give the combat drone replicator to Kanta and get her protection. Although it might be better to let the colony crisis escalate faster just so that I can see what happens sooner. But I think I'm just going to do it. It's fine. We've already got 2 factions trying to bother us. I think that was a fleet that was supposed to stop us. Yeah. You kind of missed your chance. You spawned a little too far, my friend. Better luck in the next save. Alright, and of course, the Persian League still doesn't like us. Depends what you can do. Missile spec. Not really what I'm looking for. Okay, so what we do need to do... this isn't Contest End, right? That's in a different system. This is fine, though. So I'll go talk to you, because I'm going to need evidence. Shady character, classic. Let's talk credits. 32,000. I think we can cut a deal here. Shady character. Oh, that's it? Nothing? Yeah, there's nothing else. Okay. Well, I can... Hold on, turn that off. Shuttle. Oh, there was nothing, really. Oh. So, somebody recognized me, and I guess a battle happens. Very cool. My bodyguards got me out. We're fine. Although what would be funny is if you did the sword fighting minigame first, if you didn't need bodyguards, you just deal with it yourself. That would be pretty amusing. Like if you do, because you can select, you can spend a story point to give yourself an advantage in the fencing minigame, which is a secret, by the way. I didn't tell you about that. That's a secret thing. Not many people know about it. What if I do this? It does get reduced by 1. And look at that. It works. Works like a charm. I don't know if I haven't really been reading them. I've been skipping through them. Can I go to the habitat now? Because if you go to it too early, you don't find anything. Yeah, no, we can't find anything. Okay. Maybe if we go over there, or maybe we need to find someone here. I'm not 100% sure. So we're at minus 16 with the church. That's better than we were before. Okay. I think if I go down to the dockside bar, there's something to find there, but... yeah, I can't do that unless I go in with my transponder off. So I'm going to try and find if there's something over here. Sensor array. What have you got for me? Nothing? I guess we'll just introduce false readings. Okay. Because I'm pretty sure we don't have enough evidence right now. What? Somebody just dropped in the center of the sun. This is an unusual state of affairs. Alright, now we can go down. Okay. There we go. Yeah, now we leave. Perfect. I think we go over here. Oh no, that didn't do it? Oh well. What do you want? Alright. Do we have enough? Okay, yeah, we do have enough. Fair enough, sorry for prying. What happens there? I guess you just come back and go through the dialogue again, I would assume. I can see who... orders from Kazaron. I can see who really runs Lakai. You know what? You're right. Of course I am. Mm-hmm. Yep. Skyla, I presume. Just gonna wait. Great, let's go. I don't need to know the details. It's on a need-to-know basis. What do you want? How do you even know anything? I'm pretty sure nobody was there when I had my transponder off. Why would you guys... Are there sensor ghosts in system now? That's different. Like, what is this? Huh. Are you talking... Is that it? Is that the fleet that's dangerous to me? Okay, well, that's not that bad. Don't be silly. That's nothing. We're not worried about that. It's a trade fleet with like a couple of eagles. And it wasn't even close to the jump point. Or maybe that's another sensor ghost. Fake danger signals. Yeah, you don't want the smoke. You can't handle this. And besides, I'm already there. They're going to drop in on the other side, that's fine. I'm just going to leave. I like if you click 1, you end up pretending not to see it. Wait. Oh, right, because the glass got removed because I downloaded the hotfix and I didn't change it back. I forget that it does that every time you download the latest hotfix. I don't think the person lead is going to be happy about it. And I'm not going to comment on your personal relationship. And I got just a bunch of credits. Very cool. Yeah, you can spy on my money. I don't really care. You're obviously trying to reopen the gates. Almost unconsciously, she shoots a look at you, a flash of anger for ruining her moment before she cashes herself. Yeah, I like that. She's like, ah, yes, now is going to be the time when I reveal my grand plans for the sector. My genius. You're going to open the gates, right? You son of a bitch. I was going to say that. Why would you ruin this moment? Yes, Captain. And more. This is about opening up the galaxy again. Everything I have done, everything I have worked for, has always been about the gates. Or, more precisely, what the gates can do. Yep. If we had control of the gates instead of the authoritarian domain, that would definitely be interesting. Definitely, because apparently the domain would have each sector specialized in such a way that they were not really self-sufficient. And because the domain controls the gates, and you rely on the gates for supplies, and nobody's self-sufficient, nobody can rebel. An ingenious plan, really. I want to talk to you about your intentions with this technology. Which is, of course, for, you know, the benefit of humanity, I'm sure. There is no technology, Captain. Merely possibilities. And vast though those possibilities may appear, they are yet mere possibilities. We shall speak of this later. Yeah, I'm sure we will. Yep. Available. That's a lot. Yeah, I think I'm good. I don't want to clutter myself too much. Do you have anything to say? Nope. Do you have anything to say? Has Gargoyle been helpful? Think she can be trusted? The alternative? Yep. I was wondering if you shared his views. I suppose not. You are not in that collective. Cool. Alright, building interpersonal relationships. This is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. No, it's not. I'm speeding through. Oh, right. Hold on. Forgot about you. Almost forgot about you. Oh, you're gonna... Oh, now they're using... sustained burn, but they're going to have to slow down through the asteroid field. Yep, bye-bye. Looks like you suck at your job, don't you? And that's just unfortunate. So we do have to wait a little bit in order to... Can they not see me? Why were they doing a sensor burst and flying in the wrong direction? I was right there, and I have my transponder on. It's not like it's some secret. Right, we're still at war with them, so I can't go do that. If I come back now, how long do you have to wait before you can do the next part of the quest? Yeah, not very long. Okay. It's a bit weird that you do have to leave for like a couple of days. However, continue. I've got everything I need. Project Ziggurat, here we go. I'm sure if I just ask, you know, my contacts in Tritachyon, since I do have a commission with them, by the way, I'm sure that they would just tell me. Right? We're in good standing. You know, this kind of like a... the project can't be that secret, right? Mm-hmm. No, I guess I'll go over here, yeah. It has to be this one. Okay. Are you making me an offer? company will be in contact, I'm sure. Thank you for your time, Paul Bingus. I'm certain you will continue to respect the business-friendly environment we cultivate in Tritachyon space and beyond. Yeah. Absolutely. I would surely do that. Yeah, I don't really need... That's a cool portrait. I don't think I've seen that one before. Is this like an actual character? I guess I'll do that. Don't really need those. Maybe it's just a new portrait with this current release. But yeah, I don't think I've seen that one before. Dude looks like a dwarf. He looks like a dwarf that's been transported into the future with cybernetic implants. Which is pretty fitting. Yeah, see, they've got paragons on sale. I just don't have enough reputation yet. That's annoying. But that's something that can be fixed. As long as I'm killing pirates and stuff. My reputation will just go up over time. Okay, I do want fuel and supply. Well, yeah, fuel and supplies. I do need both. I can afford to pay a premium for fuel. It's not like it's that expensive in the first place. Okay. So the next step is... You've learned... Okay, it doesn't really tell me how to progress. Oh, I guess I'll just talk to you. There we go. We're just networking, right? And of course, this fee would come out to 27,000 credits. Simple enough. Yup. This isn't a bribe, it's just a commission for your assistance in establishing social networks with the right people. It's as simple as that, you know? It's very legitimate. Nothing fishy about this. What do you want? Yeah, I bought some fuel off the black market. Deal with it. Jeez, you guys act like it's a big deal when it's not. Really? These are the guys who are supposed to intercept me? This time? You look like you couldn't intercept a fly. Oh, you want security codes. You have parsing leaks. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that buying security codes would cause pirates to come after me. I'm actually tempted just to give it to them because I mean, I could just kill them. But what would you do with these codes? I'm really curious. I'm super curious. Would this, like, this might just, like, increase pirate activity in Persian League space. Yeah, let's try it. This pirate still looks skeptical. You're gonna make the smart choice and give them to me. What? You're actually just giving them to me? A good, I suppose, smart move. Very economical. That's that then, Captain. No battle, no glory. It's these new times, I tell you. All business, no adventure. Why, back in my day... Yeah, okay. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, old man? Back in your day, what, you were going around killing people? The problem with that is that physically doesn't make any sense. You would run out of people. The sector would just run out of people. And I'm also staring down a very big fleet. Hello, what do you want? Do I know you? So a lot of stuff. I think we're gonna take this again. Bye-bye. Don't really want to deal with that. Really, there's a big hostile fleet? Where? Is it these guys? Yeah, I don't think so. Alright. It is. You don't sound very quiet. Because the disappearing with my favorite starship is a pretty big breach of contract. True. Don't need to uphold the contract if they can't uphold their end. I will find it, because I already know where it is. I can make that promise very confidently. Not that I necessarily need you as a contact, but I don't feel any reason to be mean here. You're fine. Why is that so far? What? It's funny that you already know. I already know. You and everybody already knows the location of the thing. But I've still got to go through the motions. Research station. Yeah, I guess I'll grab that. Even if I don't get to it in time, hopefully I can get to it before I forget about it. Which extends the duration there a little bit. 120 days, plus, you know, maybe 30 days after that where I remember where it is. Reach your stations, you know, there's always that chance of getting good colony items and stuff. So I think it's worth checking out. Oh, I haven't been looking for... Yeah, I should probably be more attentive for chances to use the slip surge. I'm just not used to having it. Although it looks like there's not much going on here. There is this black hole, though. And it is a black hole, so it does shoot pretty far. That might be worth exploring later. Although I guess we are past the early game, and low difficulty systems are not going to have too much. Yoink! And I land in the slipstream. Nice. Okay, so it is the other system. It's not this one. Although that's a red giant, so I can use that for a slingshot. Convenient. Oh, and look, orbital habitat. The worst one. Wow, domestic goods. I'm so excited. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yep. Yeah, we found a thing. And that thing leads us back to where we already knew. But I might as well explore the system while I'm here. There's another ship. I'm not really concerned with that. I'm just going to avoid you. Alright, anything interesting? Well, there's a debris field, and there's ruins here. Decently sized ruins, too. Yeah, I don't need any of those. I'll just grab all this. Perfect. Okay. I mean, this is a decent place to colonize. It's got the right conditions to be good with a lot of industries. But I don't see no gate in this system. I don't even see... Well, there's nav buoy and comm relay, which is nice. But I'm not seeing any third stable point. Now, what I hear you can do is a little trick. Is, hypothetically, I could dismantle this nav buoy. And then if I found the extra gate that you can move around the system, you could deploy... When you deploy a gate to a stable point, that actually consumes the stable point. It's not occupying the stable point. It kind of destroys it. Which then means that now there's only one stable point in the system. There's the gate, and there's the comm relay. And now I can go back, because, you know, using an alpha core, you can get the sun to generate a new stable point. But you can only have up to 2. So by destroying one of these stable points, that then lets me go to the sun and make a third stable point, essentially. At least that's what I've heard. Just a little trick to maximize the value you get out of it. Yeah, I didn't really need those. I'm curious if that increased pirate activity around the Persean League. Oh, did I just click the wrong thing? What? Wait, hold on. I'm pretty sure I clicked... I kind of clicked through that really quickly, but I thought I clicked 1, which is the one to reactivate it. Or to claim it and bring it on, to bring it under your control. Did I accidentally click 2 instead? I must have, because I just salvaged it. Huh. Well, that's not what I intended to do. It's not like I'm going to be back here. And if I was going to be back here, then I would want to put a gate there anyways, so I guess that's fine. Yeah, maybe I accidentally clicked it because I was talking about doing that. Hard to say. So maybe I can use this to jump to here and then jump this way. Yeah, leave me alone. Bye-bye. I wonder what happens if one of those did like an interdiction pulse while you were riding the current on one of these. Like you're in the middle of the jump here. I wonder what that would do. So, let's see. Okay, let's get that here. Yeah, that worked. That worked brilliantly. Now, is my fleet ready to take on the Ziggurat? Absolutely not. This fleet is not designed for it. Although I do have a 14 Legion stored at home and a Paragon, and, you know, some Legion builds can do it by themselves. Some Legion builds can take on the Ziggurat by themselves. Yeah, maybe not reliably, but they can. Alright, yeah, I need to interact with it. So if a Legion can do it by itself, even if it's unreliable, then Legion plus Paragon should be pretty much guaranteed to 2v1 this thing. So if I want to capture it, I'll come back later. Yep. Connection request hangs for some time, then a wave of hollow noise flickers through the main display before generating a series of error codes. And if you really can't get a good look at the pilot, although of course if you go into the files you can see it up closer. Yeah, we're just going to disengage. It doesn't... Wait, what? It's pursuing. I have never seen that before. I have legitimately never seen that. What is happening right now? We're just screwed. I'm going to lose the ship that I just said I was going to recover for her. What is happening right now? I have legitimately never seen this before. I am not joking. I am not ready for this. Yeah, what is happening right now? I'm flamed out. What is going on? What? Huh? What? Did they change something in this patch? Because this has never happened before. Yeah, it always just harasses you. They've changed it. Well, screw you. That's not fair. You can't just change it like that. This is another pretty big setback. Not only do I have to buy these ships again, but some of them had story points. This is not fair. What? I don't think this was mentioned in the patch notes unless it was like a bug fix. What is this? Yeah, I really should just be getting out of here. I got a little bit of hope now that these high-intensity lasers have actually done damage to it, but yeah, no, we're just super screwed. We're like 200% screwed. I really should have just got out of here with the Fury. This is nonsense. What is this? This has never happened before. I'm shocked. You can hear the singing. I'm shocked and appalled. Yeah, obviously being a high-tech fleet like this is just not suited to this thing. Well, now I'm going to have to come back for revenge. You do realize that, you bastard? I'm going to have to come back for revenge. I can't just leave you alone now. You are so dead. And at least the Prometheus escaped early, which is nice. That's partly... I think I gave it unstable injectors, which is probably why I got that so much sooner than this thing. It doesn't have the ordnance points for it. Yeah, if the Atlas doesn't make it, that's going to suck. Because then I'm not going to have to dump a lot of cargo. Well, I guess... I did store most of my weapons and stuff back home anyways, so it's not that bad. Yeah, I'm just going to get out of here with the... Hello? Enter to retreat. Enter. Okay, good. We got out of here. That is just shocking to me. I'm quite confident. I'm quite confident that has not happened before. And of course, it's telling me to deliver that to her. It does. Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. Sorry. Yeah, leave me alone. Go away. I'm gonna look at that debris field that we left behind from our battle. Maybe it's still there. Nope. So I recovered it, which is why I now have the mission to return it to her, but I actually can't. It was destroyed. What? Okay, I've done this before, and it just left me alone. When I tried to, I had a fleet that was definitely not ready for it, and you just leave, and all it does is it harasses you and reduces your CR. This is the first time it's pursued me. I'm just stun-locked. That's wild. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to go stop by Trek Tachyon, buy more omens. That's gonna, well, I should probably just do that first. You know what, I'm just gonna call it here. Okay. This is annoying. No, we're not going to you. No, we're going here. There's no reason to talk to you. We don't have what you're looking for. Well, that's not entirely true. There's some reason to talk to you. But yeah, that just sucks. I think I'm going to call it here. Once again, getting wiped by unexpected circumstances. Well, I guess last time wasn't unexpected circumstances. Last time I brought it on myself. I'll keep it in mind. I'll keep that in mind, yep. I know you want your starship. I'll take it under consideration. You'll just have to find the debris in orbit of that planet and just piece it back together. What the heck was that? Alright, this is gonna be it. This is where we're calling it. I'm gonna talk to them, and I mean, obviously it's gonna be pretty easy to recover from that, but again, I put story points into each of those omens, and now they're gone again. The first time I brought it on myself, but I would 100% do that again anyways, because it was fun, it was challenging. The second time, this time, they must have changed the way the script works somehow, because this is new. Alright. Captain, I am pleased that you have returned with this valuable data. The starship itself is irrelevant because we got to it first, though I do hope that you consider where this information ends up, and the fate of the ship itself. Factions might get notions. Provost, yes? Oh, Captain Paul Bingus. Of course, you just arrived. I had to read that as soon as I saw the words Paul Bingus. I was discussing the scientific value of the find with the captain here. We had just arrived at the topic of these anomalous motes. Yep, yep, it's a phase coil, but it's like an autonomous entity that's like a thing that like does things autonomously. Yep, nothing going on. Jobs are available. Not super, yeah, not really concerned about that. Okay. E. I guess we just have to wait. Hopefully this doesn't like... Yeah, this is just not possible. Alright, so yeah, that's about it.